Hey everybody, welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. It's a cold, rainy Sunday morning, but never mind, it can only mean one thing. It's time for the weekly watches. These weeks soon go by, don't they? Been a decent week of watching as usual. I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things to talk about. So seem to be averaging 9 or 10, so at least I'm keeping it consistent. And we'll kick off with the first watch of the week, which was last Sunday night, which was Run Lola Run. Now, we kicked it off with a bang last week because this was really, really good. It starred, her name's gone out of my head now, so that's a great start to the video, isn't it? Franca Potente, who probably best known for being Jason Bourne's girlfriend in the Bourne films. And as I say, really kicked off with a bang because I like this one. This is about Franca's boyfriend. He's into organised crime and he's done a money pickup and he's left the money on the train and lost it. And his girlfriend has now got 20 minutes to get 100,000 Deutschmarks to him. So it's quite an old film. It's pre-Euros. And the thing I liked about this, it's sort of like a video game. The first time she tried to get the money to him, everything went wrong. So it then showed what would happen if she'd done it slightly different. So it's kind of like resetting itself all the time and see what would happen, slightly different nuances of what was happening with the story. Yeah, really, really interesting. Good action, good fun. Highly recommend it. I'm surprised that I haven't watched this already. Yeah, really, really good. I enjoyed that. Next up, What Dreams May Come. This was one that Larry sent me, and straight off the bat, I'm going to apologise to Larry. I'm going to apologise to all the people in the comments who told me that it's a good film, because I absolutely hated this. I think this is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. It starts off, it's Robin Williams, who I'm not a big fan of. I like some of his stuff. Good Morning Vietnam. It starts off, first 10 minutes, his kids are dead, he's dead, his missus dies. It's all shot in heaven, and it slowly turns into a Forrest Gump. And what I mean by a Forrest Gump, a film that is over-sentimentalised, really romantic trash. I think it topped it all off for me when it suddenly revealed that Cuba Gooding Jr. was the spirit of his son or something. Absolute nonsense. Not one I'm ever going to watch again. Not one I'll keep in the collection. What they could have done with it, I think they could have used it in Guantanamo Bay to get information out of them there, because one watch of that and they'd just be spilling their guts. There again, I think waterboarding's more humane than making them sit through that. Yeah, so, yeah, not a fan, as you might have guessed. Next up, and infinitely better, Nightcomers. Marlon Brando, Stephanie Beacham, Morecambe's own Thora Hird. Directed by Michael Winner, who directed it for a nominal fee just so he could get to work with Marlon Brando. And this hasn't got very good reviews, but opposite of What Dreams May Come, I really enjoyed this. They're all living in this big manor house. The lord of the manor, he goes away, leaves the staff in charge to look after the 2 kids. Marlon Brando, he's sort of the gamekeeper come gardener of the place. And he slowly starts manipulating everybody in the house, including Stephanie Beacham, which he enters into sort of a bondage BDSM relationship with her. You see a lot of Stephanie Beacham, which quite surprised me because I didn't think she was that sort of actor. I thought she was like the more demure type. So really good. There's 2 kids in this. They're supposed to be kids, but the girl who's supposed to be a 12-year-old, she's played by, I think, as a 19-year-old actress, and you can tell she's not a kid in it. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. It's on the network label, so it'll be out of print now, so I think it's difficult to find. But if you can come across a copy, Watch that. Good British Gothic horror, like the only similar to a Hammer, but it's not a Hammer, but it's that add that sort of vibe to it. Yeah, really, really recommend that. Marlon Brando, The Nightcomers, very good stuff. Next up was one that I picked up in a charity shop, I think, just because the cast pricked my curiosity in a macabre bizarre sort of way, if you like. It's Idris Elba, Beyonce, and Ali Larter, who you probably know from the Final Destination films, and it's probably as terrible as you think with those in, especially Beyonce, who's not the best of actress, to be kind to her. It's sort of a rubbish Fatal Attraction. Yeah, not the best. Not one I'll ever watch again. The actual end fight scene between Beyonce and Ali Larter was about the best bit of it. And believe it or not, CEX will give me £1.30 for this. They can have it back. I was prepared to give them £1.30 to take it off my hands, but fair play to you. You can have that CEX. Next up was another film that Larry gave me, Bow, Book and Candle. And Larry, this was a lot better than the Robin Williams one. This was really good. I quite enjoyed this. James Stewart, my favourite. Kim Novak, who also starred with James Stewart in the same year, 1958, in the Hitchcock film. Jack Lemmon, who can never go wrong with Jack Lemmon. He's always good fun. And yeah, this is really good. It's all about Kim Novak. She's a witch and she's got some sort of shop selling magical things like masks and stuff like that. James Stewart, he lives above her. He's got a fiance. Kim Novak takes a shine to him, so she casts a love spell on him to make James Stewart fall for her. So then he splits up with his fiance, starts a relationship with Kim. Halfway through the film, he finds out what she's done, and Jimmy Stewart is miffed for the rest of the film. And when Jimmy Stewart is miffed, I think that's the best Jimmy Stewart. When he gets flustered, really brings out the best of him as an actor. Yeah, it was really, really good. Just one of them films you put on an afternoon, just enjoy it. You don't have to think too much to it. Yeah, get a few giggles from it. And another one, it was in colour, which surprised me. I thought it was going to be in black and white. Yeah, Bow, Book and Candle, really good stuff. That's one to keep in the collection. One I'll definitely be watching again for that. Brilliant stuff. And next, I delved into me Werner Herzog collection. The wife bought me this for Christmas, and I sort of got halfway through it, then stopped for no reason whatsoever. Just things happen like that. So I thought I'd dive back into it and watch the next on the schedule, about halfway through it, as I say, which is the film on the front of the little leaflet that comes with it, called Wojciech. This stars in Klaus Kinski. I think he did 5 films altogether with Werner Herzog, and you could see why Herzog used him so much, because Kinski was just a brilliant actor, and in this one he was no different. He played a soldier, a German soldier, and it was difficult to put a time. I'd say it's probably pre-World War One by the looks of it. Everybody put on Wojciech, the character. Everybody gave him a hard time. He had a weird doctor conducting experiments on him where he was only allowed to eat green peas for 2 months to see what it would do to his body. His wife, she was having an affair with a big burly drum major. And Wojciech, he starts hearing voices and his mental health starts going downhill. And as Herzog, he explores that area of films where people spiral out of control. And it was quite sad and depressing, but in a way that I kind of like in depressing films, to watch Wojciech go downhill and just go down this spiral of mental health and depression and despair. Brutal ending. Really, really good. If you've got any interest in Herzog, pick that set up, because the films that I've watched in so far was incredible. I think this is the worst one, but I really enjoyed it still. I think the two I've enjoyed the best of it so far has been Aguirre, Wrath of God, and his version of Nosferatu was very good as well. Both them films, both with Kinski as well. Yeah, really good stuff. Next up, I stuck on my 4K The Deer Hunter, and I'd say this is in my top 5 films of all time. A lot of people have trouble with how slow it is, but I like slow movies. I love how this unfolds. You don't get to see any bit of the Vietnam War till about an hour and a quarter in, and that's just fine with me, because I love how the way it gets under the skin of the characters, how the town works, and what a great town that would be to live. I'd love to live there. Everybody got on. Everybody worked hard in the steel factory, but played hard as well. I think one of my favourite films, my famous favourite scenes in films is from this, is when they're all in the bar near the start of it, and "I love you, baby" comes on. They all start shooting pool, singing along to it, drinking Rolling Rock. I think Rolling Rock must have given them some money towards the film, because they can't wait to mention that at every available time. Then they go off to the war, and it's brutal. Really shows what the Vietnam War was all about. A war that sent 58,000 American lads back home in body bags. And apparently this film is responsible for approximately 28 deaths through playing Russian roulette. And them Russian roulette scenes, they just stay with you forever. It's a really, really good looking 4K, especially the scenes when they're up in the mountain hunting. Just breathtaking. Yeah, easily in my top 5. I could watch that over and over. 3 hours flies by. And next up was not so well revered, but a film that I enjoyed, White House Down. It's a die-hard clone. It's not done as good. Look, Tatum's even trying to be Bruce Willis there with his white vest on, but it's entertaining. It kills a couple of hours. All shot in the White House, as you can guess by the title. Apparently they've only filmed one scene in Washington. The rest is all computer. Filmed in Montreal. I think most of you have seen it. Yeah, perfectly good action film. Excuse me. And last for the week, but by no means least at all, How the West Was Won. Now, if there's a better cast to a film than this, I don't know. Look, listen to this. I wrote it down. Lee J. Cobb, Henry Fonda, Gregory Peck, George Peppard, Debbie Reynolds, Jimmy Stewart again, Eli Wallach in the role that would get him a place in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. This is how he got into that film. John Wayne, Richard Widmark, Walter Brennan, Spencer Tracy as the narrator. Lee Van Cleef has a bit of a part in there. Now, this is thick end of 3 hours long, but you know what? I think it should be longer, because there's that much going on and so many great characters, but there's that many characters that you don't see much of them. Like, I wanted to see more as Gregory Peck, as a cowboy addicted to poker games. I wanted to see more of Jimmy Stewart as the Mountain Man, but unfortunately they flit in and out of the movie. John Wayne is only in it for a few minutes, and I want to see more of him. Lee Van Cleef, just a little appearance. Richard Widmark as the boss of the railroad, who's a really horrible character. But you don't see a lot, and you want to see more. But apart from that, it's making it sound like I didn't enjoy it, but I did. I loved it. It was a great, great film. From people going out west to start with, to then the cattle herders, the railroad, the struggle with the Indians. Yeah, fantastic Western, and I can't believe I'd never watched it before. I think the runtime had always put me off. But as I say, it could have been longer. I could have had another hour, 2 hours of it, and still watched it and carried on loving it. But yeah, definitely a seminal Western. If you're an idiot like me and you haven't seen it, give it a watch. Now then, I had a comment last video, I think it's from Ryan, asking me if I could do a recommendation at the end, like I used to do with the shelf videos. And yeah, I could easily do that. My recommendation from the week is going to be what... No, it's not going to be What Dreams May Come. It's going to be Run Lola Run. Great, 80 minutes long, flies by. Like I say, it was like a video game, all split up into different sections. Just fantastic fun. Give it a watch, have a beer, enjoy. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, give me a like. Subscribe if you enjoy what I do. I've just recently got over 300, which is fantastic. Really, really enjoy doing these videos. Giving you something, guys, something to watch. You all take care. Have a good rest of your weekend. And I'll see you soon.